drive of the entire week, 336 yards.
And Fowler in his 142nd PGA Tour start still hears about it every week. That one win. When are you going to win next, Rickie? 7 runner-ups, 5/3 in the incredible major performance last year. Kisner to play first, Roger.
Yep. 166 left for Kevin Kisner.
You got it.
Staring right into that sun.
Yeah, right into the setting sun, so that is a bit awkward. And there is shadow that has fallen over the flagstick in the front of the green. So it's a bit longer shot than he had in regulation. And he landed it perfectly, just short of the front edge in regulation, and that's just about how precise you got to be to get it really close here now.
Yeah, you do have sideboards, which helps, so you can aim a little right of the flag and get some help from the hill. So this whole location is made to be exciting and make birdies.
Just too short, yeah. This landed dead.
Man, right where he was aiming.
All right, so Garcia is 1 shot behind Fowler and Kisner.
He's got 161 yards to the hole, and he simply has to make a 3. This is going to be hanging out to the right just a little. Will it get a kick?
It's going to get the feed down to the hole a little bit.
It's a very popular spot. That's that crazy putt, but maybe he's learned from it.
Garcia's given himself a chance for certainly what we expect would need to be a 3 to stay alive.
I'm all for this putt. Yeah, same here. This is the one that gets close. We're doing just exactly like we did at Charlotte. Right, it was all the guy in the right back there? Yeah, perfect.
Well, Johnny, the aggressive play with the driver has paid off. Just 110 left.
Good.
You heard him refer to the one that he hit in Charlotte. Stuck it within 4 feet on the first playoff hole to put it away.
It's right of the hole. Well, that is not good from there.
And Fowler's farther than anyone after making the longest drive.
He had great intention and recollection of the great shot at Charlotte, but didn't quite pull it off. You know, the ball starts going a little shorter this time of day, and the wind has switched slightly. It used to be dead downwind. Now it's sort of down and to the right. So I don't know if the players picked up on that, but the balls just aren't going to go as far.
Well, regardless of what happens here, Garcia, who needs to figure out a way to make up a shot on Fowler and Kisner, he is going to become, Sergio, the first player to record 5 top 5 finishes on the Players Stadium course. So we've talked about it all week, how good Sergio has been on this stage, and once again he has proved it. He let one get away a couple years ago to Tiger with what happened at the green at 17, but not many players have played this championship on this course better than Garcia in recent years.
Well, time will tell, but it looks like it's a good chance we're going to go to the island green after this.
And that is when it would turn into sudden death.
Sergio's got to get in the mix with a miraculous, probably birdie. You're going to have to make birdie.
Fowler's away, and how tough of an up and down is this, Raj?
Well, I wouldn't call it a tough up and in. He's going to chip this ball, which I think, if you're trying to make it, Johnny, I think that's your best chance, but it's going to be downhill and moving from his right to left.
Yeah, he's thinking of making it, I can tell you that. He's not thinking about the up and in. you do want to picture the ball just getting to the hole and falling in. You don't want to be thinking, well, I got to make it knock it 6 feet by. So just back to basics. Nice little brush.
You certainly don't want to gift one to Kisner and have a par be perhaps the winner.
Yep.
So Fowler just cozies it up.
Well done.
We know that Kisner is going to have another chance here at 18 to win it.
Yeah, twice he's going to have a putt to win it, regardless of what Garcia does.
Because there is the situation after the first two of the aggregate 3. Fowler and Kisner tied. So best Fowler can do is be 1 under through the 3 holes. Kisner could get this down and win it.
Well, obviously longer than the putt he had on the 72nd hole, but pretty much on the same line, so he should have a real good idea what it does around the cup.
Second chance for Kisner to become only the 3rd player to make this championship his first PGA Tour win. Is it going to get there? Oh, how close has Kisner come twice at 18?
Very impressive.
All of about an inch with 2 attempts. Grazed the right edge in regulation for birdie. And this looked like it might want to just topple in there to the left, Johnny.
Just lacked a little bit of speed. It was looking good right there. If it had speed, it was in.
Needed more. So now with Fowler and Kisner in there with pretty much with 4s, Garcia has to make this.
And he pretty much, he knows pretty much what this putt's going to do now, not dissimilar from a little while ago.
So Sergio Garcia with a tap-in 4 at 18 came into this hole, 1 back of Fowler and Kisner, and so Fowler just to clean up the par. To get it to the 17th. So the first 3-hole aggregate playoff, not yet enough to decide it. Sergio will exit, and Fowler and Kisner will head back to 17 for a sudden death meeting there. And if it's not settled there, they'll go to 18 with the sudden death still in effect. So Garcia is the first player to lose 2 aggregate playoffs on the PGA Tour. Remember back at the 2007 British Open at Carnoustie to Padraig Harrington. A stinging defeat for Sergio as he tried to win that elusive major. And Garcia exits here, and they head back to the par 3 17th. And while they do, we sit it down to Mark Rolfe.
Thank you, Dan. Sergio, you just walked after that putt and had a big old smile on your face. What do you take away from today?
Well, I think, Mark, I think it was a solid week. Taking away the way I putted the first 3 days. Today I putted nicely, but the way I putted the first 3 days to even have a chance, I think it was a big effort. But I felt like I played nicely. Obviously, a couple of shots here and there. But other than that, I hit a nice putt there. Now on 18, I thought it was going to break a little bit more. But, it's another great week here at the Players, so I can't complain.
You've got a stretch of very important golf tournaments coming up ahead of you. Will this propel you maybe to go ahead and really start playing well the rest of the summer?
I don't know. I hope so. Obviously, it's been a little bit of a funny year for me so far, but I saw a lot of good things this week, a lot of positive things, and hopefully I can take a lot of those things into the rest of the season.
Congratulations on another great show at the Stadium Course.
Thank you.
Dan?
Thank you, Mark. Indeed, another good week for Sergio Garcia, who comes up short. And we head back to the Island Green with Fowler and Kisner. We're going to show you how they played the 17th in the 3-hole aggregate, and this is where the birdies came for Kisner and Fowler, which eventually got them back to this hole in just a couple minutes.
It looks like it's a perfect club for Kisner. He's just hitting a full wedge in there, I think it is, and it's just perfect for him.
And then Rickie Fowler.
Rickie's hitting about just an under a full shot, grip down, gap wedges.
So Garcia missed his lengthy birdie try. Kisner stepped up there and read it perfectly. Speed break right on the money.
That's a tough spot. That broke about 14 inches to the right, and this spot here was well read, pretty straight, maybe right edge.
And when that fell, Fowler had birdied this 4 of the 5 times in his trips through that island green at 17. Gary, you can't go home yet.
Not yet, and there are a lot of fans that haven't left either.
Well, they got up to this tee pretty fast, Gary.
Well, this is where the previous playoff system started. Sudden death right back here at 17. We already talked about how Garcia beat Paul Godas back in 2008. Sudden death on this hole, so we're right back to sudden death at the Island Green.
And they both have birdied the hole twice today, regulation and in the aggregate playoff. So I would expect nothing different. I'm sure they will go right at it again.
Well, there is a hiccup. It'll be interesting to see who does it.
Roger, you have to be impressed how both men have played this hole.
Yes. And the conditions are just exactly what they were when they played it last. So I'm sure this is a gap wedge. And the same thoughts in his mind as he just had 20 minutes ago or so. Just left of the hole.
Just carries the bunker and takes that big kick forward. Very similar to what we saw with Ben Martin in regulation. Take another look from above at this one.
I think it is playing a little longer now with the sun going down, Gary, because he hit that dead flush.
Temperature's a little lower than it was earlier in the day as well.
This is right of the hole. Oh, no. This is dangerous.
Oh, no, it's good now, Roger. It's within 4 or 5 feet of the hole.
People are going crazy.
Another look from above at this one. Never a doubt. Going right at it the whole way. Whoa, right of the hole. And here's the pro tracer of the trajectory. And you think the fans aren't pulling for Rickie Fowler? Look at this. Fowler's tee shot less than 5 feet from the hole, 4 feet 8 inches.
And Gary, we have spent so much time through the years talking about heartbreak on this par 3 17th and how it's ruined time and time again. So many chances of winning this Players' Championship, but Rickie Fowler has owned this hole. He is in line for what would be his 5th birdie in 6 trips through the Island Green at 17 this week.
And Danny, with the finish that he put on in regulation, if he were to make this, it would be 8 under par for his last 10 holes played. I know one thing, Raj, the fans that have stayed, they have seen quite the show. I'm not sure Roger can hear me down here amongst the people. They're making so much noise. What a setting.
Yeah, this is great. Kisner is showing a lot of moxie, I'll tell you that. He's got a putt that I don't think he's ever hit in his life going down there from behind the hole, though.
Well, certainly, you know, you kind of have an idea when you play your practice rounds where the hole locations will be, especially if you've paid attention through the years. But I agree, Johnny. I'm not sure you'd practice one from behind and right of the hole.
Hey, Gary, we just got this report that Rickie's mom, remember the Mother's Day little thing that we showed you earlier, just got a report that his mom and sister were checking in at the Jacksonville airport for their San Diego flight when one of Rickie's college coaches texted them and told them about this incredible late round charge that he had in regulation, 600 in the last 6 holes. They checked their bags and watch, and after Rickie birdied 17, they decided forget it. They abandoned their flight and bags, got a courtesy car from the tournament, drove back here to TPC Sawgrass, and are here somewhere on the property watching this. I don't know if they are watching this in person, but they are watching this happen right now with Rickie with a chance to win here.
Okay, Kisner putts first, and Raj, we've got it at about 12.5 feet, something like that.
Yeah, and it's got to move to his left. And it's not the same putt he's had the last couple of times, so a different look for him.
Yeah, this one will move a pretty good bit, and if not struck solidly, it can duck left under the hole.
His mom, Lynn. And there is his girlfriend, Alexis Randock. Rickie's sister also here, 4 feet 8 inches away from a Players' Championship title. Fowler absolutely delivered down a stretch of holes here at TPC Sawgrass like we have never seen before. And on this Mother's Day, the heads coming from the Fowler camp. Mom, girlfriend, sister Taylor Fowler. Overrated? Think again. And happy Mother's Day. Was worth turning the car around and coming back out. Let's go down to Steve Sands.
All right, thank you. With the champion in 2015 of the Players, Rickie Fowler, you were down there on the back nine. How were you able to turn it around so quickly and get yourself into that playoff?
Like I told you earlier, I kind of just had to wait to push that button. I told you earlier that the 9-iron and the putt on 13 was big, but I actually got a tough break in the bunker off my tee shot on 12, and to make 4 there kind of gave me some momentum moving forward, and then we took advantage of that and big afternoon.
You win it here on perhaps the most famous hole in golf, which you played so beautifully all week long. How were you able to handle the pressure in that 3-man aggregate playoff and then the extra hole?
I felt really good all week. My games felt very good. I struggled a little bit the last 2 days, just fairways and greens, but I've had a lot of confidence coming off of last week, and pretty fun. This is special.
What were you thinking when you were standing on the 17th tee this last time?
Well, I knew Kiz was going to hit a good shot. He made a great swing in there. He's been swinging it great, and he hit a good shot. I mean, he got a little bit of a tough break when it landed on the downslope, kicked forward, and I knew he was going to have a chance of making that putt. He's been rolling it good, so had to take advantage of my opportunity there.
As popular as a figure you are, not just in golf but in sports, you've had some detractors lately saying that it's about time you step up and win a big one. What does this say to those people?
I'd say this is a pretty big one, so I'm happy about the week. This is something we want to look back on for sure.
Congratulations on the win, Rickie.
Thanks, Steve.
Dan, back upstairs to you.
Rickie Fowler saves his best this week for the biggest stage on this course and one of the biggest in all the world. He goes 8 under in the last 10 holes he played today. Back with more and the champion Rickie Fowler in a moment.